Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Thursday. I'm glad you're here. These Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mic message: taking the red pill. How far down does this rabbit hole go? If you haven't seen The Matrix, you're probably completely lost right now. Heck, if you've seen The Matrix, you might be completely lost right now. What I'm talking about is the illusion of stability in the workplace. And yeah, as always, pop culture, different literary references, they all talk about it. I mean, whether it's Alice in Wonderland or The Matrix or Plato talking about it, the cave, Plato's cave, Orwell, 1984, you know, um, Star Trek, there are four lights, right? The more people are dependent on a system, the harder they will fight to protect it, even if it no longer works the way it was supposed to or at all. In the Matrix, first thing Neo did, Mr. Anderson, first thing he did was he took the red pill, and that enabled him to see things for what they really were. And from that point, it was all about getting everybody else unplugged. And he was warned several times throughout the trilogy. I haven't seen the newest one, had no desire, as far as I was concerned. They confused me enough through the three. I didn't need a fourth one. Um, Again, it made the point. The more people are dependent on a system, the harder they're going to fight to protect it. And you can see that in the workplace because people will say, teams will push back. They'll say, well, I I don't like the new system. I don't like the new database. It's not what I know. It seems harder, you know. And yeah, and sometimes modernization processes will add new things, new wrinkles, new tools, new jobs. But ultimately, the goal is to improve the process by making these changes. Leaders can be hesitant because they maybe they see the new technology passing them by. My least favorite, my least favorite phrase in the workplace is "that's not my job." That's number one. But a close second is, well, that's the way we've always done it. Refusing to adapt is not stability, it's stagnation. And your most successful teams aren't the ones that are going to defend the old ways come hell or high water. Sometimes the old ways are better. I'm fully willing to admit that. But quite often, just because it's the way we've always done it doesn't mean that it's good. You've got to be willing to evolve. You got to be willing to change. You got to be willing to embrace stuff that maybe scares you a little bit. But if you're in a leadership role, you don't just force the change. You have to guide your teams through it. Build the trust. Communicate the why of why we're doing this and how at the end, yeah, that light at the end of the tunnel, that's a good thing. It's not the headlight of an oncoming train. Show them how the new model is going to work, the new process, the new trinket, the new computer program, whatever it is. Show them how eventually this new paradigm, this new tool, it's going to make everything that you've done before more or less obsolete, but it's going to be Steve Steve Austin astronaut. It's going to make everything better, stronger, faster. Yeah. So, how many pop culture references can I fit in one day? Well, there's another one. $6 Million Man. I wonder what the inflation rate on $6 million from the 70s till now would be. Anyway, squirrel. Not part of my original point. If you want to have a team that thrives through change, through adversity, encourage curiosity over compliance, encourage critical thinking over blind acceptance. Ultimately, change is not the enemy. Complacency is the enemy. So don't be complacent. Embrace the change. Jump into it. Come on in. The water's fine. That's today's Red Mike message. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it helpful. I hope you will give me a like, a follow, and a share. And the share is really important. If this channel, if these messages are helpful to you at all, please tell other people. I'd appreciate it a whole lot. I got to get to work. Stayed home yesterday. Like I said, I was feeling under the weather, ready to get back at them. Jump right in, knock the cover off that ball. So why don't you go do the same thing? I'll see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon.